This is from Dyer. What someone else thinks about me or anything else is none of my business. I remember that when I first heard Dyer say this, I put it on a sticky and I repeated it every day, several times a day, because it was not something that was normal for me. For me, if I had an exchange with someone, I was actually coming away from that exchange creating all sorts of scenarios in my head about what that person is thinking. What are they saying about me? And so this affirmation, what someone else thinks about me or anything else is none of my business, I had to keep it front and center, and it was so instrumental. I cannot tell you, instrumental in helping me to become a duck, helping me to not be affected by the opinions and of other people and their expressions and their vibration. Because you see, here's the thing: if you're with someone and you feel a negative vibration coming to you from them, our automatic response, unless we know better, our automatic response is to make it about us. Oh, that person, they feel off. What are they thinking about me? Because they must be thinking something about me that is making them send that uncomfortable vibration out. So if you take a breath and you say, it's not about me, it is not at all about me, then what happens is that you don't take it that seriously. It falls off your duck feathers. It literally just falls off because you start understanding that the vibration you're feeling from another individual has to do with them and their emotional scale and their thoughts, nothing to do with you. How somebody else is vibrating has to do with their perspective. Their perspective puts them somewhere on the emotional scale. And really, it's no more complicated than that. That truly is what it is all about. So, don't worry about it. Don't let it affect you. There's no need to let it affect you. Because when it affects you, then it affects how you think. It affects how you respond. And that's just not worth it. Why would you let someone else's vibration affect you? It does not make sense when you start understanding how law of attraction works. And when you understand it, now you have so much more control over your life and over everything that is happening around you. Truly, that's how we start having power of influence. Power of influence. So, you see, what someone else thinks about me or anything else is none of my business. I couldn't care less. Good morning, Elena, Tamika, Cindy, Nancy. So good to see you guys. All right. So, today, just for today, how about just for today you pay attention? Be more mindful, be more consciously present when you are with other people. How about you pre-pave this affirmation? Use it as your pre-paving every time you come into contact with someone. Tell yourself what someone else thinks about me or anything else is none of my business. Now, here's something really important I'm going to add to this. This does not mean that we behave unkindly. Let me say it again. This does not give you permission to be unkind. Because I know from having coached so many people in the past where they think that this affirmation or thinking this way being selfish about your own point of attraction, being selfish about your own emotions. A lot of times when people come to law of attraction, they feel that this gives them permission to be unkind, rude, uncaring. That's not what it is. That is absolutely not what it is. Because if you are feeling like you're going to be unkind to someone, where does that put you on the emotional scale? It doesn't put you at a very high place on the emotional scale. And so it's not what we are recommending. Because we never recommend that you take any action at all from a place that is low on the emotional scale. We always recommend that you go up the emotional scale and act from a place high on the emotional scale. Act from a place of hope, eagerness, satisfaction, love and joy. Because when you act from here, you are able to not only look after yourself and your own vibration, you are also able to be loving and kind towards another person. Does that make sense? Because that is a really important distinction that I can tell you, because I have been out there. I can tell you nobody is making this distinction. But this distinction is so important as the basis for your becoming a powerful influencer and creator. Because you see, we don't want to control, we want to influence. And the best influence, in fact, you cannot have influence from a place low on the emotional scale, because whatever you do is in the effort to control other people's response, and then they retaliate. Whereas when you act from a place really high on the emotional scale, there is no retaliation, because what are they going to retaliate to? There's nothing for them to push back against, because you're coming to them from a place of love. And that is huge. And that is how you influence behavior. Because when you come from a place of love, good morning, Mercedes, good to see you. When you come from a place of love, then what will you get in return? Yes, if you come from a place of love, you get love in return. And so that is why what someone else thinks about me or anything else is none of my business. And reminding yourself of that, and keeping in mind that you must always take action from a place high on the emotional scale, is truly the secret to success in your relationships. If you just understand this, it is the secret to making all relationships work. Not only work, but thrive.